Hello, this is Bill Moreland with Bank Reg Data. Today we're going to do a quick review of U.S. Bank 2024 Q1 delinquencies. We're going to try to keep this to 5 minutes. Up here in the upper left is the portfolios we're going to look at. CRE non-owner occupied, construction other land, and farm ag loans. You'll see the 1 to 4 family is got a large NPL rate, but that's typically going to be guaranteed mortgages, which is a whole nother discussion. The red dots, red squares, represent some TDR. So let's take a quick look. Let's go into USP, which is going to get us to US Bank. I'm going to go to Loans 2012. I'm going to go to the non-performing loan link, scroll down, and you'll see here that this table right there syncs up pretty close to the table we have on the left with some other formatting. First portfolio we're going to take a look at is right there, the 363 basis point, 3.63% for non-owner occupied. And there they are right there. So what we're seeing is in Q4, there was a $100 million increase, and then it accelerated in Q1 from $500 million to $641. So an additional $141 million of non-owner occupied NPLs. The NPL percentage has gone from 219 to 275 to 3.63. Let's go take a look at the let's go take a look at the TDR. And I'm going to click on the performing link. And these are going to be loans that have been modified that have not been put on non-accrual. And so they are performing, which means they are making payments, but that's by design. That's why you lowered their payment so they could make it. And what we're seeing is that number has climbed dramatically. So from 1 million to 38 to 91 to 316 to $465 million. So the ratio to look at is essentially what we call portfolio stress. This is going to be total delinquencies plus performing TDR. And you see there's the 3.65% portfolio delinquency rate, including early stage. There's $465 million that is not on non-accrual, so it won't show up on non-performing. Total delinquencies plus non-performing is 6.29, up dramatically from a year ago at 1.62. Next portfolio is construction other land. Let's pop down here, click on construction other land. And what we see is a ping pong back and forth on delinquencies. All right. And what this tells me is that there's probably 1 or 2 loans that come to about $40 million in change that went delinquent in Q3, went back to being current in Q4, and then is now back into delinquency in Q1. It's entirely possible they're different loans, but when you see that repetitive kind of pattern, it often does indicate that you have a loan that's going in and out of delinquency. Go to TDR, go to performing, and we see the same situation, right? There is an increase in the performing TDR. The modifications has taken place in that portfolio. Go back to NPLs, scroll down, and look to ag loans. And this number is shockingly high, right? We've gone from 1.6 million to $178 million. It's a full 16.87% of the portfolio. I have gone and whenever you see something that's that out of pattern, you got to question the data. So I went back in yet again this morning and yet again right before our presentation. It's correct. I mean, that is what's showing up is on non-accrual. It is possible that that's not delinquent, that it has been put on non-accrual. My guess it's basically late stage delinquent and on non-accrual. Let's go back and take a look at the C&I portfolio. So C&I U.S. addresses. This is going to be domestic C&I. We do see that it is increasing, 26 basis points to 0.47%. But the big one here, as with some of the other portfolios we're seeing, is it's a more than doubling of restructuring. This is going to indicate future stress. Whenever you're basically restructuring a loan, you're pushing it out into the future. Hopefully they'll cure, but more often than not, as a pool, banks that do this repetitively, you will see that a higher percentage of them have higher charge-offs in the future. Next one down is take a look at cards. And the non-performing loans are fine. They are climbing, but they're climbing, behind delinquency, same thing. So early stage, late stage, total delinquencies are going up, but they're not going up to the extent that every other portfolio. So in other words, they're not as bad as Capital One or Discover. If we take a look at the performing TDR, we're seeing a lot of modifications taking place in their credit card portfolio as well. I appreciate your time. If you should have any questions on any of this, please reach out and give me a call. Thank you.